Your first 5 wholesaling real estate deals. How do you get there? If you're watching this and you want to close your first 5 wholesaling deals and you feel stuck, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do. In today's video, I want to break down exactly, condense the past 2,000 wholesaling deals I've done, the past 7+ years I've been in this business, and really share with you exactly how anyone can get their first wholesaling real estate deal all the way to their second deal, third, fourth, and eventually their fifth deal. Now, your first deal is the hardest, but really that first 5 is going to be your make it or break it. It's really going to determine exactly how you are going to become successful, how you're actually going to end up get these deals closed, and how you are going to end up getting your first 5 deals. Now, your first 5 deals are going to be a puzzle. And that's the best way I can really describe this process of your first 5 wholesaling deals, because it's going to be a puzzle and you're going to have to solve this puzzle. And in the solving of this puzzle, you are going to learn a lot about yourself. You are going to learn about how to really build a business. And ultimately, this is going to be a puzzle or a guide of how you are going to get rich, because this is going to change your life. This is wholesaling real estate, guys. Like, this ain't no Joe Schmo little game. This is a game where we can get wealthy and we can start making a ton of money in wholesaling real estate. But the truth is, most people don't know how to get to that point. And this is where I'm here to tell you today of kind of step-by-step what to do it. And so every single person watching this, you want to become successful. You want to get that deal, that second, third, fourth, fifth deal. You have to ask yourself this one question if you're trying to get that first deal. What am I willing to pay to get my first wholesaling deal? And you can look at it a bunch of ways. You can even look at it like, what is the cost it's going to take me to get my first deal? And what I mean by this is there is a cost to success. There is a price to be paid. If you will, what I like saying sometimes is there is a sacrifice that must be made. And sacrifice seems like such a big word to be using, but it is a word you have to start thinking about. What are you willing to sacrifice to get your first deal? And there are trade-offs in life and trade-offs in a lot of things. Some people choose to maybe take an hour less a day working or an hour less a day sleeping and use that to go out here and find motivated sellers. Some other people decide they are going to spend their weekends. They're going to sacrifice their weekends to go out here and find wholesaling deals, right? There's a lot of things you can sacrifice and trade off. And you're not sacrificing like your marriage or time for kids or anything like that, but you were ending up sacrificing a lot to get to where you need to be at. And the issue here is I see wholesalers time and time again try to get everything and try to make 0 sacrifices. And heck, the simplest sacrifice you're going to make to get to the point where you want to be at now is the sacrifice of hard work, your sanity, pretty much, right? I mean, I lost my sanity getting my first 5 wholesaling deals. I really got obsessed with this business and I decided to go all in, and I lost my sanity in the process. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not embarrassed of it, but it takes a little craziness to go out here and decide to get into wholesaling real estate. And that's the point of why you're watching this, because you know it's going to take a lot of work. But getting rich is never a thing where there's 0 sacrifice involved. There's always a sacrifice in getting rich, a sacrifice of making money and learning. And so what you have to understand here is you must eliminate your excuses. This is what you have to do. If you are a person that is learning wholesaling real estate, if you are starting out in this business, you're going to have a lot of learning to do. And I've seen time and time again, people are like, oh, I'm learning wholesaling real estate, man. I can't start it. I can't start taking action. I got to learn it, man. It drives me crazy because these wholesalers get into this learning mode and they decide that they're just going to learn wholesaling and they're not going to do it. They act like they're attorneys, right? You got to learn to be a real estate attorney and then you can start practicing law. When wholesaling real estate, unless I tell you not to do something, go out here and try it. Go out here and actually do the thing, right? And you are going to have these modes, right? Yeah, a lot of people have learning mode and then make this as an excuse of why they can't become successful. Guys, eliminate that. The one thing I always preach time and time again is this thing called action over excuses. So many wholesalers have these excuses of why they can't become successful, why they can't start calling, why they can't text or get any wholesaling deals, and it drives me crazy. I ain't gonna get heated right now, but I can get heated right now talking about this, where people time and time again will not take the action. They'll let the excuses, they'll let the imaginary barrier of wholesaling, and they're trying to get through, but in their head, they create this barrier of why they can't become successful, why they can't start doing wholesaling deals, and why they can't get rich. And the truth is, your brain is really good. The human brain is really good at creating these, how do you describe them? But like there are these mental barriers. And in your mind, it's like AI or like a video game where it's real in your brain that it's this firewall, this massive, huge wall that you can't go over. When really it's all a hologram and it's fake. In your mind, it's this big, massive wall, but in truth, it's just a fake, it's a fugazi, whatever you want to call it. It's a fake wall. It's a hologram. You can just walk right through it. Your brain's really good at making these fake things. And it seems cliche, but if you ever see a successful person or an athlete that won a championship or something crazy, and they all say, believe in your dreams, you can do anything you can think your mind of, right? And you always hear the same thing, but it's true that anything that you put your mind to, you can do. And there's some people that are a little crazy, like, oh, well, I can't fly. Like, no. But in the realistic laws of human nature or physics, if you can think it, you can dream it in a lot of business sense. And really the way I look at it is if somebody's been at the point you were going to be at, you can hit it. What that means is I know wholesalers that make tens of millions of dollars a year, which means I know I can hit that. You know, when I was starting out, I knew wholesalers are making 100 grand in a year. And I said, well, if they can do it, I can do it, right? Do the same exact thing. And so you have to start implementing action. Action is going to be more important than anything. And so you want to get your first 5 deals, start looking at the actions over your excuses. And really, in this business, you're going to have to do a lot of learning on the job. And what I mean by this is there's going to be a lot of work you have to do in this business. And your best teacher is not going to be me. You know, your best mentor is not going to be me telling you what to do. It's going to be you doing it. And the funniest thing is, I see a lot of people I teach in wholesaling real estate that end up becoming successful. And I interview them, right? We put them on the podcast. I talk to them. They come to live events and stuff. And every single time I talk to them, I always ask them, it's like, where did 90% of your knowledge, your growth, all this happen? And they always see the same thing. It's like, I learned, and I have to get it out of them because they don't really remember it or they don't think about it because it's all subconscious. But 90% of your knowledge in wholesaling or your growth or your skill set is all from doing or doing the action. It's not from watching a Zach Ginn video, right? Like, I mean, guys, like this video, subscribe, watch it. Obviously, I'm all for it, right? We got to at least get that 10% in so we can start doing the 90%. But it all comes down to you going out here and doing the work. And when you do the work, you learn a lot more, especially on the job. So if you guys do jobs where you kind of learn on the job, you learn a lot better than just learning the instructional thing of it, right? It's even being a doctor, right? It's not really going to medical school that makes you a good doctor. It's having that experience and seeing it and doing it many times that makes you better, right? You're not a good, truck driver by just going through the school. It's by doing it for 10, 15 years and that experience. And so in wholesaling real estate, I don't think this is talked about enough, but the learning on the job part is going to be the biggest part of your success. And so a lot of people like to just perpetually watch videos all day and not take action, where the action's 90% of your learning, 90% of your growth, 90% of the way you're going to get a deal. And so you guys have to start learning on the job. I don't think a lot of people really understand this, but learn by working and doing it. Now, next year, this is always a hot, contentious topic I always talk about, but it's a good one. But nobody cares, work harder. And time again, I get people giving me excuses. I get people telling me, I have this situation and you don't understand this, Zach. Life's been so easy for you, or this or this or that. And, I have always said this, and this is the honest truth. There's always somebody out there who's had a worse situation than you that's become more successful. And what I mean by this is there's always going to be somebody that had a worse situation than me. And then that person feels like, oh, I had it worse than you, Zach. That means I'm better than you. And well, I can go point out a person who had a worse situation than that. And I just keep going down the line. Unless you're the only human being who has the worst situation ever alive, if you're United States, you're probably not at that. It's hard. And so the truth is nobody cares about your situation. And I hate to say that. It sounds mean. It sounds rude for me to say that. But the dang truth is nobody cares about your struggles. Like outside of your mom, maybe your dad or your girlfriend or boyfriend, but like outside of them, they don't care about your bills. They don't care about how much you're struggling at work or how hard it is or how your back pain. The average guy off the street ain't going to care. And for a lot of guys out here, that's the essence of being a man sometimes. Like nobody cares about your problems. And it sucks. I get it. It sucks. But that's the fact of life here, that nobody cares about your problems. And I think a lot of people should take from this is if nobody cares about your problems, stop telling people about your problems and just change it. And you can hate on me all day for saying this, and you can do whatever you want. I get a lot of hate every single day. I can handle it because ultimately nobody cares at the end of the day about the hater. Nobody cares about your opinion. And the truth is nobody cares about your situation. So stop just putting it out there in the universe. Start putting about how you're going to fix the situation. And for a lot of problems, and of course there is problems that money can't buy, but for a lot of people's immediate problems, a lot of them are financial based or money based. And the best way to solve it is through wholesaling real estate. And so I'll hear your issue, your problem. I'll feel for you. I'll be sympathetic. I'll be empathetic with it. But at the end of the day, I can feel for you. I can say I'm sorry. But the solution is going to be the same. And that's going to start talking to motivated sellers, start finding wholesaling real estate deals, and getting deals closed. That's going to be the answer to your problem. That's going to be the answer to your situation. That is going to be the cure to your issues mentally right now. I mean, at least with your issues, if you got a lot of money, it makes it a little easier. And so you might be like, okay, Zach, I get it. Nobody cares. I got to work hard. I got to make a change. Okay, cool. I get it. Nobody cares about my problems. What do I do? What I tell everyone to start doing, and this is a really important one, but start your upward spiral. And this is the thing I can tell anybody today to start doing. And this is going to be for anyone having a bad life or a bad situation in their life. This is going to be the best solution to your issue here. It's called the upward spiral. Now, a lot of people who have bad situations right now, they are through what we call the downward spiral. And this all comes down to the laws of inertia and really how that works. And it really comes down to momentum too, where you have a ball, or let's say call it a rock, a boulder, or whatever circular thing, and it's on a tilt, or it's on an even plane. If you start rolling a ball on a flat plane to the left, and you push it hard, it's just going to keep going left. And if they're both on hills, right? And so let's say it's sloped like this, okay? And I start rolling the ball on the left side. It's just going to start rolling down the left side. If I roll it on the right side, it's going to start rolling down on the right side. That's how it works. And if we change the name of left to bad and the name right to good, it doesn't matter, because momentum doesn't care if it's going west or east. Like it doesn't matter. The rules don't change. And this works with your life. And what I mean by this is if you start doing bad things, things perpetually start going downhill, right? We always hear that term. But on top of this, there is a other thing called going uphill. Now, no, it doesn't really catch on, the uphill thing, because going uphill, usually there's gravity. But really, it's the same thing as going downhill on a good side, right? It's like going down a fun slope. It's going downhill on a good way. And we call it like an upward spiral. It's like getting sucked up. And what I mean by this is, let's kind of go through two examples. Let's say we lost our job. All right. Now, there's two ways we can do this. If we had a bad life starting out, we could start, I don't know, drinking a lot. We could start being depressed. We could start being sad. We can be in social media all day and just start being sad all day and just start doing nothing. Then we lose our house, and then we lose the kids. You start because you don't pay, you got no money, and you do all these bad things. Your life just gets worse and worse and worse. You start doing drugs, you go to jail, and bad stuff, right? If one bad thing happens and you start doing worse things because of that, well, we all know people probably at that point, it's called a downhill spiral. It's called a downward spiral. And you're just going down and down and down. And it's momentum, because once you start doing really bad things, you start doing way worse things, and you get bad crowds of people. Life gets worse. Just being honest. Now, the same law happens with good things. And say you start picking up some books. And I think the first thing people can do to start living a better life and to start making more money in wholesaling is start changing your thoughts, your brains. And I tell people this all the time, but you are not your thoughts. A lot of people think they are your thoughts. Your thoughts are something that can be changed. I can change somebody's thoughts in the way of thinking, of a broke person's mindset to a rich person's mindset. And once you start putting someone in a rich person's mindset, they start talking to other rich people and they start doing what rich people do. They end up changing their mind. That's why people change. Have you ever met someone at 18 years old and then met them at 40? They're a completely different person because their thoughts at 18 weren't who they are at 40 years old. And so there's an upward spiral where we start thinking better, we start doing better, and we start doing better action in our lives, and we start having smiles, and we start just being happier, and just better things happen. And we have an upward momentum of success. And this can even be attributed in wholesaling. So if I start marketing more, I'm going to end up with more marketing. I'm going to get more leads. And for some weird thing, the more leads I get, the more contracts I get under contract, the more deals I get under contract. And the more deals I get under contract, the more deals that are sold to cash buyers. And the more deals that are sold to cash buyers, the more checks I get in my hand every month. And so it's attributed directly to me marketing more. And so the more I market, the more money I make in wholesaling. Sign me up. And so that's the truth with the upward spiral. What I'm trying to get everyone to start doing today is the more you go out here and market, the more deals you're going to do. This is the point. This is what we're talking about today. Start with your upward spiral. Now, on top of this too, another thing I want to stress to wholesalers: be a wholesaler, not a real estate investor. I don't know why I have to say this. I don't know why this has to be said. But a lot of wholesalers try to act like real estate investors. They try to act like realtors. You are not a realtor. You are a wholesaler. And let's kind of talk about the difference. A wholesaler is somebody that wholesales real estate. They are primarily focused on marketing. And when somebody sees a property, a wholesaler sees a property, they think of an opportunity for them to make a profit on it and negotiating the price down. A real estate investor is going to look at the property, what it'll sell for, should they flip it, should they rent the property out, and some other things. And they get really in the nitty-gritty of owning the house. And there's a lot more that goes into owning the piece of real estate than there is to just wholesale the deal, because wholesaling deal is way easier, right? You lock it up and you try to sell it to a buyer and you have them deal with the stress and the mess of it, right? And we just focus on the deal and the transactions and just going from there. In wholesaling real estate, that's what we deal with. As a real estate investor, there's a lot more stress. There's a lot more mental capacity being used on these properties. And I see a lot of wholesalers, they get too into the weeds of the ARV. They get too much into the comps. And the focus comes more to the property than the seller. And it breaks my heart for people to see this, because it's more about the seller than the property. Because if you can focus on the seller, you can always bring the price down. If you focus on the house, you're never going to, let's say you uncover something on the house and you tell the seller, hey, I found black mold in the property. That means I get a $4,000 reduction. The seller says, no, I choose the price and I'm not doing a $4,000 reduction. Huh. Shocker. Oh. Welcome to Real Estate 101. The seller determines the selling price. The buyer determines the buy price. Economics 101. And so if I focused on the seller way more, I would have gotten that reduction. Rapport wins. Rapport beats your real estate investing skills. And again, as somebody that owns a lot of rentals, Airbnbs, things like I get the real estate investing side, and trust me, I'm in it every day. But when we talk about wholesaling real estate, you got to focus on the marketing and kind of the sales skills of talking to motivated sellers. Be a wholesaler, guys and gals. Do not be a real estate investor. I see this too much. I see it time and time again of wholesalers doing this. It drives me crazy. So don't be focusing on being a real estate investor right now. Make 100K, then we can start playing that game. But just focus on wholesaling. On top of this too, in wholesaling, right, you want to get these 5 deals. You're watching this video because you want to get to these 5, right? Think about this, all right? I also, on top of this too, I see wholesaling gurus talk about, oh, be a professional, be a real estate investor, and you're a wholesaler. Be a wholesaler, okay? That's how you're gonna make more money. Now, to be on the topic of wholesaling, we gotta get 3 deals. Let's talk about 5 deals, right? Let's just focus on that first deal. Okay, can we just stop thinking about the 5 really quick and just focus on the 1? Because we get the 1, then 2, and 3. It gets easier. And so you have 3 options right now to get your first wholesaling real estate deal. You got 3. Only options you got right now. You got 3. I'm giving you this ultimatum because I'm sick and tired of wholesalers not getting the first deal. I'm sick of the analysis paralysis. I'm sick of the overthinking. I'm sick of the people not taking the action. Because once I get somebody's butt in that car to go find ugly houses, once I get someone's butt out there to start calling sellers, once I get someone's butt out here to start doing the work, they start getting the results. And so if you're a person that is struggling with this and you want an action plan, let me give it to you right now. And so there are 3 options for you to get your first wholesaling deal. This is a curated option list because I found 80% of all wholesalers get their first deal from these methods. The ones that go to freewholesaling.com, heck, people that don't even go through freewholesaling.com. 80% of the time that they get their first deal, it's attributed to any of these 3 things. And it's probably more, but from what I find, this is what it is. Okay. This is what I think. Okay. Well, let's break this all down and share it. So option 1, drive for dollars or reverse drive for dollars. I cannot stress this enough. If you have the ability to drive for dollars, if you have the ability to reverse drive for dollars, do it. Okay? Do it. Oh my Lord. Guys, if you can do it, this is going to be the fastest way to your first deal. This is going to be the best way to your first deal. And time again, I've tried. I have tried and tried and tried a method that is better than this if you put in 20 hours a week. And it's always hard for me to do this. I found cold calling to work really well too. I found digital bandits. I found so many great methods, probates. But really what I found is if you can just drive for dollars, you're going to get deals. And it's really hard for you not to get deals by doing this. And a lot of people roll their eyes from this, but just the power of putting sticky notes on houses, it just works. We are in a generation, we are in a time in the wholesaling real estate space where every mentor, coach, video, whatever type of education in this business, they all say the same thing. And tell me if I'm wrong, but this is true. Sign up for the software that I get a kickback on. Pull this list that anyone does. It's usually a high equity, vacant, or absentee. Any of those 3. Here's how to do the filtering. Pull it. Skip trace on that website for 14 cents. And then get to work. And if you didn't, you're just a broke boy and you're a loser. That's how pretty much it all goes. Or it goes spend $7,000 on SEO and maybe you get $5,000 and I'll get a testimonial, right? This is how the wholesaling real estate guru game, the real estate investing, this is the state of wholesaling real estate right now, where you spray and pray, where you pull the list and you just pray that you get to the seller in time because there's 15 guys calling that seller for that day. And you just pull the list. And as a guy that talks about, prop stream and deal machine and batch, and I talk about all these softwares and there's a time and place for them. And always, I think they're worth it if you've done some deals. And maybe if you're not, there's situations where it's worth it. If you are just pulling the same list as everybody else, you're going to get the same results as everybody else. And unless you got that team of 15 VA cold callers, it's going to be a lot tougher. And so when we're in a space of this, if you have the opportunity to go pull a list that nobody else is pulling at all, you have the opportunity to go reach out to all these sellers that no one else is doing. It's so simple. It's so simple why Driving for Dollars works, because you're not like the thousands of wholesalers doing the same exact thing that the guru says. You're doing something off the beaten path. Now, your coach, guru, mentor, whatever, they're not telling you to do this because it's a lot of work and there's no glory on this. There's no secret system to Driving for Dollars, right? There's no veil I can put on a $4,000 course on this. I can't. That's why government lists are never taught. There's no secret I can put on there, right? I can't put a word and go sell it. And so what I think you guys need to be doing right now is go after the list that no one else is doing. And so I'm going to tell people, Drive for Dollars or reverse Drive for Dollars. That's my favorite thing for anyone to be doing right now. And the thing I tell everyone to start doing. And so Drive for Dollars or reverse Drive for Dollars. This is what you need to be doing. Now, you have a second option. You can cold call. Now, did I bash cold calling before? Maybe, maybe not, But cold calling is amazing. It does work. I don't recommend as a beginner you pull the high equity list, from any software starting out. There are lists that you can get that cost no money, that are not attacked by every single wholesaler, and they're kind of secrets. And there's thousands of these leads pulled every single month from the government. They're called government lists, right? Your code violations, sweater shops, fire damage properties, probates. You're probably rolling your eyes because I've said this a million times. But where else are you going to get this information? And I stress this all the time, and I challenge anybody. Guys, go out here, pull the high equity list, pull any list your guru's telling you to do, then pull some government lists. Pull at least 4 government lists. And I want you to cold call 1,000 on each list and tell me after 1,000, which one gives you more leads, which one gives you more appointments, and which one has the best contact rate, the most pickups. You are going to find time and time again, because I do a lot of wholesaling, that your Driving for Dollars is going to be your tippy top. When I call a Driving for Dollars list, I have the best chance of getting a deal from that one. Then I'm going to probably get a probate. I'm probably going to find code violations. I'm going to say the evictions list, and then you can go and kind of down and down and down. And you're going to find, wow, Zach was kind of right. And I'm just trying to eliminate a lot of the struggles that I had starting out with you guys. But I tell everyone to cold call. And you're probably watching this video, and I said the word cold calling, and you're all claiming like, oh my God, Zach's talking about cold calling. I'm just going to do option 2. I'm going to do option 1 or 3. This one I'm going to do. Oh, yeah. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I don't want to hear the excuse. What did I just say in the beginning? Action over excuses. Do the action. Eliminate your excuses. Guys, stop telling yourself, I can't cold call because of this. Unless your lips are sealed shut, I don't want to hear it. Guys, there's no reason why you can't be cold calling. There's none. Because I'm getting people from the Philippines who are barely speaking English doing well and getting me deals. And, they just got to see the script okay-ish and they get deals, right? Just get the yes, take the lead in, give it to me. We can close it from there, right? And so cold calling works time and time again. It is going to be proven, and it's going to get you deals. Now, option 3 is a really good one here. This is going to be SMS text blasting. Again, I'm seeing a mass exodus of SMS text blasting. And this is because of these big texting softwares, right? We're having issues, right? We used to have the good old days, the glory days, back in my days, Sonny. And I've been wholesaling 7 years, almost 8 now. So I can kind of say this now, I think, right? Back in my day. But really, like 5-6 years ago, you were able to text sellers. There's no opt-out language. 300, 400, $500, unlimited. I'd send 4,000 or 5,000 texts a day, sometimes 10,000. But skip tracing was super expensive back then. But I already did so many deals cold calling. I already had all the phone numbers. It was fine. That was the caveat back then. But the cool part here was there's no opt-out language, no issue. I was getting deals like crazy. And then now we come back to today. We have this opt-out language. It's like, hey, you're the owner of the house. And then like it says in the next, like, reply stop to be taken off the list. And it's tanked a lot of the success. We see a lot of companies still okay. Like SMSZack.com still doing okay. Like they're doing well with it. They ultimately do have their struggles with it, and they're trying their best to overcome this. This is the carriers doing it with their own self-regulations. But we're seeing a lot of people getting out of texting. And a lot of them are going into cold calling, which is not a shocker to me. And they're doing deals, right? People adapt. And like I've said, when things change, I'm always going to go here and tell you. And so after thinking about it hard and experimenting a lot, SMS works. SMS gets deals. Maybe the way that we've been doing it before wasn't working. And maybe we can try a new innovative way. And that's all I do every day. I think of new innovative ways to find deals, and I share it with you guys because you guys need the information. If you are able to text, and there's a method where it costs no money, it takes an extraordinary amount of work, like cold calling or drawing for dollars, but it gets deals, and you can still do it virtually. It's basically my free SMS method I teach at freewholesaling.com, where basically you can use Google Voice, you can use AI. Without AI, this thing would be impossible, because once AI came, I was able to come up with this system where you can send 100 unique texts with AI. You can say like, create a script based off of X, Y, and Z, and you give the script and make a unique text from the following addresses, and you can do like a CSV format. And you'll find that it'll spit out 100 unique texts, and you can copy and paste and just put it into Google Voice. And you can send, probably 5 texts an hour for, if you have 3 lines going, you can go 10 hours. You can do like 200 texts a day, and that's 1,400 a week. And it's not bad, right? That's over 60,000 in a year. I mean, do you think after sending 60,000 texts, you're going to get one deal? I think so. And so it's more difficult to do. It's a little more work to be doing, but it is a free method. And then we're working on some other things. We're cooking up, and we won't talk about too much. But yeah, there's some other things we're working on. But like SMS text blasting, you do it for free. And we got the 30-day wholesaling challenge coming up. And the big portion of this challenge we're going to do is forcing people to start doing this method, because I don't think people are doing this method. Another bonus I'll tell you is you're probably not doing digital bandit signs. And I tell everyone, if you just post 150 digital bandit signs, so you do like 3 months of just 2 a day, that's 180 though, but like try that. If you post 180 digital bandit signs out, so 90 posts on Facebook, 90 posts on Craigslist, and I tell you exactly how to do it at freewholesaling.com. You basically use AI for this. It's almost as automated as it can be. You'll get inbound seller leads. You'll literally get them calling you. But nobody's willing to do that. No one's willing to go out here and tell, me that, oh, Zach, I did it. No, I mean, there's plenty of people doing deals from it, but like, it's sad that so many people aren't willing to do it. And it's a great way to do it. And so I'll say option 4 is digital bandit signs if you're willing to do it. That's how you get your first deal. It's simple. It's so simple. You drive for dollars, you cold call, or you text blast. Now, on top of that, after you get that first deal, really deal 2 to 5, it's a way more simple process. You just keep doing what's working. You reinvest in the software as I talk about, and you start doing more deals. That's the name of the game. And so my simple mind-blowing process is going to be more marketing, more money. And so the more I market, the more money I make, and that is the point. And so if we can just focus on doing more marketing, because the more marketing we do, the more money we make, the more offers we make. This business is all about offers. To make more offers, we make more money. And so guys and gals, money is never the excuse anymore. I get people telling me back in the day, oh, money is the reason why I can't get a wholesaling. Guys, we have a free wholesaling course called freewholesaling.com. I'm literally willing to do one-on-ones with anybody watching this. money ain't no excuse. The excuse is all in your mind. It's this fairy tale thing in your mind saying that why you can't become successful, and start doing the work. If you do the work, you'll become successful. So guys, that's how you get your first 5 deals in wholesaling real estate, guys. Make sure you go to wholesaling.com to learn exactly how to do it right now. Now, if you need help getting that first deal, I'm always here to help you out. I'm always here. We're on this live stream to help you out here. I'm back from my tonsillectomy. That was a hoot. I'll tell anybody, tonsillectomy. That thing was a lot rougher than I thought, and it was quite a fun process. I think I lost like 14 pounds. I went to a all you can eat buffet, so I brought it back, so we're fine. But yeah, that was a fun one. So we're back here, guys. I appreciate all love and support. And I don't think I'm going to miss another Sunday live stream for a very, very, very long time. Unless a Sunday lands on like Christmas or something, I think we're good here. So I appreciate guys all love and support for helping me out. And what I want to do is let's hop on, do some one-on-ones. Let's answer the questions you guys have in wholesaling real estate, and we'll break it all down. But man, that thing felt like razor blades in my throat. But you know, I'm not a baby. And there's some other words I could say, but I ain't gonna say it. I ain't no little baby with this. So I always deal with it. One thing I want to address too, you know, I got a lot of hate not a lot of hate. I got a lot of people upset at me at the Facebook group today, and I wanted to talk about it. And I want to explain this because I'm not backing down on what I told this person. Someone said on the Facebook group they had a seller. They went through this whole process of getting a seller to say, yes, I want to sell their house. And you know what the next thing that guy put out his lips over text? He said, are you looking to sell your house? I said, yes, I want to sell my house for cash. He says, I'll give you $265,000. And the seller just ghosts him, or like, I forgot exactly what it was. And he literally posts this. He says, what did I do wrong? I'm like, bro. And so I comment, I'm like, dude, I said this, and this is the truth. I'm not going to cry about this. I'm not going to let anyone be mad at this. But I said, you literally did one of the dumbest things you possibly could have done with a motivated seller. You got them ready. You got them excited. They want a cash offer. You ruined you could have made 20 grand off this deal. But you decided just to throw an offer out there, no report, nothing. This person went through wholesaling.com. Okay. They went to wholesaling.com. They decided to skip they skipped the acquisition section, went straight to the contract section, downloaded that, watched one SMS video, skipped the part where I said to call the seller, and he goes and has the audacity to tell me, what did I do wrong? Homeboy, if you have to ask yourself what you're doing wrong, you have not gone through the course. And everyone said, Zach, you're being so mean to this guy. You're being so rude. Why are you being so mean to him? I said, well, what are we going to coddle people like little babies now? Am I going to put you in the little crib and say, it's okay, you lost the deal? No, shame on you. You lost $25,000 for being stupid. I hate to say it, but like, what else can I say to you? How else am I going to drill this through your brain that you lost $25,000? Which probably could have changed homeboy's life there, because he decided he didn't want to build any rapport. Now, he might not have been educated on this process, which, whatever, but he needs to know that's one of the worst, dumbest things you could have done. You destroyed your momentum. Who goes out here and texts an offer? This is one of the things that is going to stop you from doing wholesaling deals. And I don't care if my delivery is not the sweetest. You're not paying me $15,000, so I can say whatever I stick in one to you, okay? If you are watching this because you want to change your life, right? You're watching this because you want to get a deal. You're not watching this so I can make you feel good about yourself and give you warm fuzzies about, oh, yeah. I don't care. Guys, I already make millions of dollars wholesaling real estate, all right? I see a lot of people upset. If you get offended of anything I say, just understand whatever I tell you, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I do it in the best intentions for you. But if you lose $25,000 because you decide not to learn from freewheelsing.com, you decide not to at least take some effort. If you start SMS text blasting, okay, if you start SMS text blasting without even at least looking at any of my videos on SMS, shame on, like, you don't deserve to get a deal, right? I hate to tell you, like, if you try to get at least cold call and wholesaling, at least look up some cold calling videos. There's not one video on the internet about SMS text blasting that says to shoot the offer off instantly over text. And it drives me crazy, but you have to learn the lesson of how stupid you were being to lose a $25,000 deal because you decided not to go through some due diligence. And I want everyone to understand this too. If you are marketing to motivated sellers, if you are talking to motivated sellers, if you are signing legally binding contracts, if you are marketing and having conversations and you don't know jack squat, like you don't even want to learn the process of wholesaling, or at least have your ADHD TikTok brain go through 30 minutes of what is wholesaling, you don't deserve to do any deals. You're going to get burned. You're going to hurt the seller. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt a title company, and you can get in a lot of trouble. And this is why when my delivery with somebody that is super uneducated that decides to do things, guys, if that guy skipped the video on how to sign a contract, he could have written some things that could have hurt him and the sellers, and he could have gotten sued. He could have lost a lot of money. He could have gone to jail if he did things really, really badly. And so I go hard on the paint with anybody that decides to start writing legally binding contracts without going through any education on how to do it. Guys, at the end of the day, you're adults and you can go mess up. You can start really doing whatever you want, but at least go through some due diligence. I sit here every single week and I try to give my heart and soul to you of what it takes for you to become a success. And what I want you to do is always the right thing. And if you're talking to sellers and you don't even know how contracts work, how are you going to have that seller trust you? You're going to hurt them. They could pack their bags, get everything set up, get ready to move, and you decide because you're incompetent to watch a video on how to sign contracts from anyone on the internet, that seller is going to lose thousands of dollars, and they could lose their job, their family, and all these things because you messed up as a wholesaler. So I go hard in the paint on uneducated wholesalers trying to do their thing without at least going through some education process. And it's not I mean, if you watch 2 hours of anything in freewheelsing.com, you should get at least a grasp of what is good and what isn't. And so I see a lot of people, they don't like it. Go ahead. I don't want to hear it. But I'm just telling you guys right now, go out here and do the work. Go through freewheelsing.com, start learning how it works, and you're good to go. I just want to address that off the bat. If you have a problem with me going hard in the paint on somebody that decides to lose $25,000, go to your guru, give them 14 grand. They'll make you feel good. But at the 30-day trial period that they have or whatever, they're going to say, oh, you didn't work hard enough and you're going to lose out in the program. That's the truth of how this business works. You know, easy, Junior Rick. I have no idea what that even means. Please elaborate what that means. But what I can tell you, me and Rick's approach on wholesalings, we run the same business together and we make millions of dollars. But I think the approach of how we teach wholesaling is just a little different. I'm the type of guy that learned cold calling and virtual by myself. And so my approach is a lot more straight to the point than Rick. His is more rapport building. And so you go out here and in wholesaling is you choose what type of avatar you want to be. I'm the type of guy, if you ever compared me to Rick, where I'll do more deals than him, but I'll make less because I'll just do more volume. And that's always been the type of person I've been. And that's why I went really hard in the paint on JVing when Rick wasn't big on JVing, and he was kind of big more on like the in-person bigger deals. And a lot of it changes. And so what I could tell you here is in wholesaling real estate, you got to be your own person, but guys, you just got to learn this business. Rick sits down for an hour in that course and just breaks down what a contract is and how to sign it the right way and how to explain it to a seller. Because if you don't know how to explain to a seller how the contract works, you're never going to get the deal done. And I'm just trying to get you guys some deals. That's the truth. Yvonne says, I saw on Zillow get a cash offer in 3 minutes. Is that going to hurt us wholesalers? No way. No way, way. We had the Zillow offers. They lost out on that. They're trying it again. Zillow used to do the cash thing where they used to buy houses cash, and they lost, what was it, billions of dollars. They got out of it. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. Even when Zillow was buying, during the sickness, I can't say the word here on YouTube, Zillow was buying a ton of houses in our city, and we were fine. They were the Zillow was, they were buying houses for like 240, and they were selling them for 240. It was hilarious. I enjoyed watching it because they're getting their butts whooped. So yeah, no. The problem is Zillow can't do what we do, and so there's no report being done there. Jab Yasin says, Zach, you said you closed, so it goes 2,000, over 2,000 deals. We're approaching 3,000. How much does that come down to? If your average is about 18, I mean, it's over. I mean, it's tens and tens of millions of dollars. I think Rick, he did a video the other day. He tried to calculate it. It's going to be over 30 million. I'm pretty sure that's going to be 30 in assignment fees. Now, that's assuming 18 a wholesale deal, because I mean, there's a stretch of 3 years where the average assignment deal is 30 for us, $30,000, and then it's back down to like 20 locally. But the issue here is our average JV deal is going to be about 15, and I'm only netting 7,500 because I'm splitting them. So you really, it's rough to see exactly what that equates to. And unfortunately, I got to split a lot of that because I have a partner, Rick Ginn. But really, it's in the tens of millions of dollars, like net. But it's a lot of money you can make wholesaling houses. And then the JV thing, we're still working on it, but I'll do very well for us. Bro has a different hairstyle every day. No, I didn't gel the hair today, so no. Should have cold called, not, dude. I could have not even opened my mouth. That was rough, but hey, I'm still doing deals. Jiu-Jitsu says, do you recommend a business page starting out? No, I do not. Stop trying to get all fancy schmancy with this. All right, let's see here. Jab says, anyway, what's your lowest assignment fee you've ever done? So technically my lowest assignment fee is $0 because I've gotten screwed on a lot of wholesaling deals. And that's always a story for another day. You know, I mean, even last month I got screwed on 10 grand net to me. So it was gonna be 20. I don't cry about it, but I mean, it won't be millions every year, but it will be hundreds of thousands every single year of deals that get screwed. And those are JV deals, right? Where I bring the seller, sorry, the person brings the seller, they get the contract, I bring the buyer. And then for some reason, the wholesaler that I work with decides to go around and go with another buyer after I do it. And, you know, do I sue them? Do I not? And because they'll make less money, but they don't have to split it with me. And they use me as an option. And then I have to go through all that. And then half the time when I do that, I just, okay, we'll put a memorandum on the deal. And they're like, man, that's not right. I'm like, homeboy, we're going to make $30,000 on an assignment fee. Well, I'm going to make 20 with this guy and I don't have to pay you half. But we're going to make 30 with me. And I said, we're going to make 30. You're okay with it? Are you man of your word? He said, yes. I said, well, you know, things change, bro. I get this all the time. Like the amount of things I deal with sometimes, like half the time I'm laying on a live stream, I'm calling somebody because I'm like, dude, why are you trying to steal the deal from us? And I call these people out and they're like, oh man, like, Lord. And so, you know, that's half the struggle. But yeah, my lowest assignment fee is always going to be 0. actual close deal, I think my lowest assignment fee is probably 500. I've done a bunch of $1,000 assignment fees that just don't go well. Just okay, 1,000, do it from there. And that was before JVs. But yeah, Marcellus. So another Pulp Fiction name. What's the highest assignment fee you've heard of? So I've seen millions of dollars in assignment fees. Yeah, I've seen millions of dollars in assignment fees. Remember, assignment fees can be done. So typically, the largest assignment fees you're going to find are going to be from publicly traded companies. Oh, shocker, but it's true. So if you look at like Pulte Homes, they'll go into contract to buy 500 acres in Central Texas, and they decide that they're not going to buy it. They're going to buy a deal in Mesquite for 500 acres, and they just assign the rights to that contract. They'll make millions. I've seen people make millions of dollars. I've seen people make 100K, 200K. My biggest assignment fee to date is $115,000, which doesn't seem like a lot. I think Rick's done a $200,000 deal. I want to hit that point. That'd be good. But 700K is going to be the biggest one for you. Yeah, it happens. An assignment fee could be billions of dollars. It depends what it is, right? But publicly traded companies usually do the ones in the millions. So Jiu-Jitsu says, Zach, so how do I do repairs in a market where houses are like 80K ARV? So if you have an 80K ARV, you're going to have a weird situation here, right? So I really like thinking of like Macon, Georgia, because Macon, Georgia has houses that are the ARV is like $50,000 or $60,000. And I'll just be honest with you, man, like a lot of these are like in the hood. You're not going to put brand new countertops. You're not going to put fresh flooring. Like we're going to do a lot of bare minimum stuff, and a lot of the repairs that you see on nicer homes, you're just not going to do on a beat up Section 8, like a house that's going to be sold to a guy that's going to rent out Section 8. You're just not, right? You might fix the flooring up and kind of repair the kitchen, but like your biggest expense is going to be the roof and paint. But like you're not going to paint, you're not going to do a very expensive paint job on a cheap house. And so the ARV is low, but the repair costs are going to be lower, if that makes sense. I hope it makes, you're not going to do the crazy repairs that usually needed on like a $300,000 house, if that makes sense. That's what you got to do here. Where's the hood in Port St. Lucie, Stewart? So every metro area has some type of hood. And so in Port St. Lucie, Stewart, there's really no high crime areas. And so the higher crime areas, or the hood per se, is going to be Fort Pierce, Florida. Fort Pierce, Florida, I do a lot of deals there. I've done a lot on this channel. I even do videos where I say, watch me wholesale a crack house. And let me see if I can find the video. These are deals where the ARVs in Fort Pierce can get all the way down to $30,000, $40,000. Let me try to find this really quick. Crack house flip with Rick. We have a guy trying to sell a wholesaling course here. Let me see if I can show you guys. So this was a wholesaling deal I did in Fort Pierce, Florida. So this was, it got 500 views. That's crazy. So this is, I mean, look how nasty this deal is. I mean, let me show you this property. I always tell people about this. I think I made $7,000 on this deal. Thing fell off. Let's look at the inside. I threw up on the inside of this house. I mean, this is as much crack house as you can get. This house was vacant for 3 years. Look at this thing. I was throwing up. Just show the roof. There was no roof. Oh, Lord. I mean, this is as trap as you can get. It's not even a trap house. I mean, look at the pool. It had life. There's life forms in the pool, man. That was a rough house, dude. Oh, my God. Did I show the one bathroom in here? Let me see. Look at this. Oh, God, man. I mean, can I even show the needles? Oh, Lord, dude. That was a weird house. It was just, I've seen houses go into disarray, but man, this was bad, man. Do I have the check on here? Let's see if I show the check. Come on. That's my hand sanitizer. That thing was nasty. Bruh, where's the check, man? I should have shown the check. Dang, man. That was a bad house. That was top 10 right there. That was man, that was in the hood though. That was a crack house in like a nice area. That's why I made $7,000 on that deal. Now, if we talk about like the hood houses, it's Fort Pierce, Florida, and Fort Pierce, Florida is just it's very it's just the hood. I don't know how else can I say that. The best way I can explain Fort Pierce, Florida, is I've gone to me and Rick have gone to that area, and there's a guy with a baseball bat says, if you don't leave, I'm smashing the back of the window. And then you come back to revisit the house with the buyer, and the guy smashes the back of your car. Me and Rick have both had our cars smashed with baseball bats because we didn't fit in the neighborhood. That's all I'm going to say. There's some rough areas. And I'm like, am I really doing all this to make $2,000? And it's really weird, but like if you understand how Fort Pierce works, it's weird. But there's the ARV's 35, 40 grand. And I just stopped wholesaling there because like what's the point of making $3,000 on a deal to get your window smashed in, man? And we've done flips there where it got broken in every other day from drug dealers, and it's like, man, what's the point? What? And so I've tried everywhere, man. Hood, non-hood. And that's why I tell everyone avoid high crime areas because you're just not going to make $40,000 on a deal there. That's all I can say. And yeah, you don't want to be doing there. But like there's hoods where you can make a lot, like West Palm. So you look at West Palm Beach, there's hoods there. But the ARVs on the hood is going to be like 180. And you can make a lot of money even in the hood. And no one's going to, I've never been in West Palm and somebody cracked the back of my windshield in Fort Pierce, in West Palm Beach. In Fort Pierce, they do it. It's just a different type of Florida. And remember, guys, it's Florida. So if you're not from Florida, you don't understand. That's just regular. That's Florida man stuff right there. People in Texas don't do that. I've never heard of a Texas wholesaler that's ever happened to, but I'm in Florida. You got to remember, people in Florida are crazy. I mean, I've had alligators ran at me in houses. I've had alligators in pools. I've had boa constrictors in toilets. Florida's if you ever watched the GTA 6 trailer, I want to say it's a caricature of Florida, but it's real. Watch the GTA 6 trailer. That's my life. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. That's Florida for you. And so it's a crazy place, but there's a lot of money to be made here. Let's see here. Do you leave sticky notes that are occupied by a renter? Yeah, I leave the sticky note. Remember, yo, what is up? Okay, you have the YouTube video on. So can you turn the YouTube off? Because there's like an echo. I think
I got the YouTube video on my computer.
Yeah, can you turn that off or pause it? Yeah, I can still hear myself.
Oh boy, that's my computer.
Hello. There you go. You're good, man.
Is it still?
Yep, you're good, bro.
You said what?
You're all good.
I'm all
good.
good.
Oh, no, it's good. It's going again.
That's my
How about
computer.
this? Yeah, I think it's your computer, man. Hello. Oh, jeez. I think it's your speaker or something.
Yeah, my speakers, they loud.
All right, can you change the speaker?
Oh boy. Let me see. Audio. Hello. Test.
Hello. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this, okay? When you talk, mute yourself when I'm talking, and then unmute yourself when you talk, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, how you doing, man? What's up? How can I help you out?
I'm good. So I'm from Genesee. I'm Flint, Genesee County area. Flint is bad. With medium home price like 55K. Genesee County medium price is 206. I'm doing the driving method. I'm good visual. I did get the probate list. I need help organizing it. I tried to get cold. I went to go get some other lists, but they they kind of sent me straight to FOIA. The employees didn't know what I was talking about. What I was thinking is it a smart idea to go and try to follow up with those? Because I went to the fire station and I went to try to get code violation and tax delinquency, and they kind of like sent me straight to FOIA, and and I feel like it was my aggression. I feel like I came off aggressive. Is it a good idea to go back and like try to rebuild those relationships, or
Go mute yourself.
right?
All right, there we go. Okay, no echo. Cool. All right. So give me a thumbs up. Flint, Michigan, right? All right, cool. So honestly, man, if we're doing code violations, sometimes you get off aggressive. That's fine. You got to give off student, academic, researcher, nerd vibes. That's the best way I can explain it. It's always gonna be the best ones. If you go off and just give me the list, it doesn't work. But what you need to do is just, hey, if you're not helping me get the list, ma'am, or whoever it is, can I speak to a manager or someone higher up? And you just got to go through that route. Oh, this is my supervisor. Okay, when my supervisor Genesis, she's in on Tuesdays. She's not in. She's off on Mondays. Okay. Well, so if I come by at 4:00 tomorrow, is Genesis going to be in? Yes. Okay. I'll be come back tomorrow 4:00 with Genesis, and go speak to the supervisor, and then they can do it. You got to remember, man, when you're dealing with a clerk at the code enforcement office that just got hired, and she or he went to Michigan State, and that's their life, and they don't understand how the world works, and they just get hired, and they think, oh, you know what? It's not right for him to get this list. It's not right for him. I don't believe that's right. And they're just going to say, get the FOIA, and they're just going to say no to you. The supervisor, on the other hand, no, you legally have to get that information. I mean, bro, you've been to a grocery store and you paid your 6% sales tax. Like, you're paying for the government to be open. You deserve this information. You're in the United States of America. So you have to go talk to the supervisor. You're just dealing with someone who doesn't know what they're doing, and they're trying to talk over you. Unmute yourself. There we go.
Sorry, I hit the wrong command. So yeah, yeah, I was considering like, and I kind of, what I'm saying, you kind of feel soft for not going back up there, but like I don't want to feel soft. I want to get directly to the problem, and that's, getting the list. And so that was kind of one of the biggest problems I had. Like I said, I need a little bit help organizing the probate list, because I had to connect um in the probate. I went up to the probates and the lady was right there. I was like, whoa. And I asked her for the docket and she just gave it to me. So that let me know like I can get the list. I probably shouldn't have said that, boy. Anyway, but she just gave it to me. And so I was happy about that. And so yeah, and I kind of feel like Flint is like it's rough. It's a rough area to wholesale, but I kind of feel like sometimes I let it get it to my head. But like I'm telling you, a lot of the homes over there, you can go to a neighborhood, no homes on the block. You can go to some neighborhoods and the value of the homes is like 40,000. And sometimes in my mind it's like, is that even worth it? You know what I'm saying? So
So
I struggle with that.
So Flint's like a mini Detroit, man, where it's weird because if you grew up in Flint, you'll understand this. And after doing some deals in Flint, I understand this too. It's like there's this area where like it's like, oh my gosh, the property's like 20 grand. And they got this other area, it's like the houses are $500,000. It's like, what? And you think it's crazy. It's like, what's going on? Jacksonville, Florida's like this too. And you don't understand things. And it's weird because you probably grew up, you know the areas, but you don't know the values in the real estate investing side. What you need to focus on in a weird market like that, that's how I learned Detroit really well, is I just find the buyers and I talk to them. Because when you talk to Harold Johnson, who's been buying rental properties since 1974, he's going to say, I'm going to buy here, here, and here. And then hey, I'm going to go to this area, right? And that's all you have to focus on, man. And so what I would do is I would focus hard on the buyers. Now, it's in your head right now that it's not a good area to wholesale. Well, I've done deals there, but also prove your own brain wrong. Go find 15 buyers. I guarantee the population's decent there. Find 15 buyers. and go out here and go do it. Right. I mean, the past 10 years, as you know, Flint's been a little weird because their government is stupid. It's the only way I can explain it. But like, I mean, that was a big problem they had. But honestly, like outside of that, there's plenty of buyers there, man. I mean, it's close to Detroit. Uh, yeah, I think you're fine, man. It's good news that the code violation is giving you that much of a hassle, because once you talk to Genesis or whatever her name is, right, the supervisor, you'll be good. You just got to ask that though.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I get that. That makes it, that stuff making a little bit more sense now. I'm gonna go backtrack because I did start with the buyers, and I'm new to wholesaling, obviously. And I started with buyers, and I kind of drifted off of it, and I kind of I get too stuck into the driving for dollars thing. Like I'm gonna be honest, I just like driving for dollars, but a lot of times I get too caught up in it, and so
But
I'm gonna
you need to
backtrack
work
to
smart,
buyers.
man. You need to drive for dollars in the areas where your buyers want to buy. You just can't be just going all over the board driving for dollars if it's bad areas. So let's focus on the buyers, man. Let's still get that code violation list, but let's focus on the buyers, man, right? We got Facebook groups, we got cash sales. We can actually go out here and you can even go to the auctions. There's RIAs, right? I think I should just focus on Facebook groups for now, man, and just cold call the four rents. I think tomorrow in a couple hours from 5 to 7, if you cold call the four rents in Genesee County or Jersey County, with GEN, it's a weird word, whatever. I think you find a bunch of buyers, and that should probably put your mind at ease.
Okay, and so I have went to look through the four rents, and maybe I'm looking the wrong places, but I saw a lot of like it's a lot of companies, management companies
Yeah, you're
that,
gonna see a lot of them.
and they do a lot of the call, they do a lot of them. I don't, do you avoid those and just look for
Yes, avoid
okay.
those. Have them with just a regular name, like John Smith, and his guy's phone number there, and just call him. It's a see through it, man. It sucks, but they're still going to be there, man.
Okay. And let me see, make sure I cover most of it. That. Yeah, I mean, that was really it. Now, I'll be honest with you, I did go through the forward process, and I hope I didn't already screw myself by doing that. And I'll be honest with you, when I did, the the FOIA director, she emailed me back and like she tried to justify charging me I'm talking $2,000 for a list, code violation list. So, and that's why, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I should probably still go back though and see if I can get that list because I don't think I'm pretty sure that the FOIA director and the person that worked, I think those are two different people. Maybe
FOIA
they
is
know
federal
each other,
government.
but like they not going.
You got to remember this I'm saying Genesis, but for Genesis, she just has to click export on the CSV file and send it to you. It ain't going to cost her $2,000. So that's why you catch more flies with honey than vinegar, man.
Yeah, it'd be like I tell my dad, I'm like, you can look up a list. I mean, you can look up an individual. Oh, in Genesee County, no, you can't get nothing online because it's all gatekeep, it's all locked up. And then we don't even have our tax sale auctions is no longer in person. And we got Genesee County Land Bank over here too, so they do a lot of gatekeeping too. You know, they taking out because we work with
Dude,
GM
that
directly.
county is so messed up. How, do you think they're even going to be any good at their code enforcement? Come on. Dude, you
Yeah.
know this.
And that it's like it for me it start, you know, it makes sense, but it's good to hear somebody else say it. But like it's all messed up, man. Like, and you know, GM works with the mayor and all that stuff, and they got all type of stuff going on right now. The zoning is crazy in Genesee County. So I'll probably just go back to the buyers, go back to focusing on I need to chase the list better too, because I mean it's just Genesee County is all over the place. So
Okay, so let's kind of hammer it down. You have a good vision. I like it. You know where you want to be at, and you're willing to work there. I appreciate that. That's why I'm talking to you. Let's just focus on the buyers first. Let's just try to get more of that kind of honed down and get that list. If not, we can still drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars, put the sticky notes out in the areas that the buyers want to buy in. And I think we got a good little plan until you talk to me next week, and we'll go from there.
Right on. I'll be right back on next week.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Thanks.
Awesome. So yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, guys, if you want to start learning how to do it, go to freewholesaling.com. That's how we teach it. So next week, so starting, for the next live stream. So basically me and Rick, and we're doing a big traveling. So I'm still going to bring the camera, bring the mics, and do all that fun stuff. But I'm going to be for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be traveling. So I'll be through, I'm going to what is it? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to 5 countries in the next couple of weeks in Europe. So I will be with my camera. I'll be with my mic. We're still going to do our Sunday night live streams, even though it's going to be 7 hours ahead. Still be able to do my thing. Just FYI. So we won't be in the studio. But we're still going to do the same time. Just going to do all of that. No live stream Tuesday. But pretty much from there, the whole stream schedule, videos is all going to be the same. So no live stream Tuesday after that. We're going to be all smooth sailing. So I appreciate it, guys. Make sure you go to freewholesaling.com, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach and signing out. Have a blessed one.